guys, welcome back to the channel, another Swiss 001 video, and welcome back to the flight simulator. Welcome back on board the Airbus Beluga plane. Yeah, very wonderful plane, very ugly plane as well. Yeah, that's all we pretty much have to say about the Airbus Beluga. It's a little ugly, honestly. But this is actually a very great plane anyway. It can transport a lot of cargo, which is basically the only thing that it was meant to do and is meant to do. And that is very great. See, this is actually a modified A300 that's just gotten uglier. Very simple Airbus plane, really. And you know, this is actually a very high quality model, which always is very inviting for some interesting flight simulator experimenting. See, every switch here works, which is a little scary too sometimes, because I don't really know how to use this plane properly. Now, we did a few experiments with this very interesting plane already. Like, we tried flying it to short runways, which actually worked relatively well. You may or may not believe this, but this plane does not need that long of a runway. It looks like it needs a longer runway than it actually does. It's actually quite an interesting plane. We also did some testing with weight. You know, how much weight can this plane carry? And we actually did find out that this plane is actually not that big of a weightlifter. It's more focused on volume rather than weight. For example, it was built for transporting around airplane parts. And you know, airplanes and airplane parts are built to be the lightest possible. So yeah, this plane actually can carry only like around as much cargo as like a Concorde when it comes to weight. But of course, the benefit of this plane is that it can carry much bigger things that are not heavy, right? You know, that's the thing. That's what we found out. Today I want to try something interestingly different, and that is especially playing around with weather, okay? See, this plane, when I look at it, I can already tell it's a pretty tough plane to fly, to land, and especially if the conditions of winds are perfect. Let me just put it this way. See, the Airbus Beluga, just from the looks of it, just kind of seems like an aircraft you don't want to really fool around with in crosswinds, for example. I mean, you can see. No. So let's do exactly that. Let's fly around in harsh winds conditions. That's what I'm trying to say. Interesting segue into the actual topic of this video. Now let's maybe try it. Really just doing some experiments with crosswind, with stormy weather, because as you can tell, this fuselage, of course, is quite large, so I think there's quite a lot of attack surface for the wind to push the plane to the side, which means that this plane is probably very sensitive to crosswind. We'll find that out exactly now. Alright, let's maybe actually just first of all come in for a normal basic landing with this plane. We have basic cargo on board. This plane is, you know, just like a regular Airbus Beluga would be loaded. Let's just imagine we have a wing on board of like an Airbus A320, and let's just perform a normal landing and see if that actually works here. Alright, here we go, coming in for a landing here in this interesting Airbus plane. See, landing this plane itself, like just with a basic, you know, with no winds, isn't that big of a problem. Like, not too much of a challenge. There are harder planes to land, like the Concorde, for example. Oh, that's been a hard landing. I apologize, plane. Okay, let's go and stop. Can we do that? Come on, stop. Stop, stop. I was praising the stopping performance of you, so Beluga, please don't fail this now. Oh, wow, that is now a little ironic that we're now kind of failing to stop. Oh, wow. Like, genuinely now. Oh, wow. Okay, great landing right there. Totally not a hard one at all. I don't know how this video is gonna be with tough winds. I mean, damn. Look. Oh. I shot on the nose landing here. Yeah, the interesting landing there indeed. Let's maybe try then coming in for a landing with harsh weather conditions. And what I mean by harsh weather conditions is let's just go ahead and put out a stormy weather here, which is going to give us winds of up to 10 knots with turbulence, which is quite a bit, really. All right, let's try this here. All right, we're now greeted with very bad weather. It's now rainy. It is now stormy. This plane is now very much struggling with the turbulence that's going on right now. And there, this plane isn't nice to fly in bad weather. I can really tell. It's just a large fuselage makes it very, you know, vulnerable for harsh winds. Oh, wow. Especially flying to a 1,200 meter long runway. Runway not nearly long enough for this plane actually to operate normally, but you know, this is great. It doesn't feel proper. Oh, wow. Okay, come on. Ironically, almost a smoother landing than the first one. I'm just going to mention this right here. Okay, now it's time to really stop. Come on. Stop. Okay. Looking good on the stopping there. Great. 10 knots. Approved. That was still a doable landing for sure, right? All right, let's maybe modify that exact crosswind, okay? Let me go for 20 knots. Now, I can't really find any information about the crosswind limits of this plane. You know, every plane has actually a designated crosswind limit, but let me add 20 knots. We're probably not going too hard on the crosswind, right? All right, now 20 knots crosswind. We have clear skies, but the winds are bad. Literally, this is 90 degrees direct crosswind. You can really see now. Look where the plane is heading and where it's actually flying, right? Where the course is and what's the heading. You know, it's we're pretty much now starting to really go into that maneuver where we're flying, you know, sideways, because you know the wind just slaps hard here on this plane. Really, you can really tell that is really not easy here. Let's maybe try coming in for a landing, see if that works here. Oh wow, this is gonna be a very spicy one. Ah! Oh my god, we just destroyed our plane. Holy. Oh wow, we just completely died right there. All right, great landing. Not really, huh? God damn it. This is how to get rid of like $100 million in like a few seconds. Just do a crosswind landing. Damn, this plane is really not easy. I mean, I have in real life landed at 20 knots crosswind in a Cirrus, which was also a little bit of a problem, but you know, this plane really doesn't handle too well. Maybe it's also me that's just a new pilot. Maybe try this again. This is literally the worst approach I've ever had. The most unstabilized. Holy moly. Okay, come on, you can do this now. Let's maybe go in with a little bit more speed here. That'll help us probably out a little bit with the stabilization, I'm guessing. So let me try doing this smoothly. Come on, come on. All right, actually, okay landing, right? Let me try now standing still here and stopping as well. Oh my goodness. No, we're dead again. We're dead. See, this plane just, you know, the actual touchdown really isn't the big problem. But we always like flip to the side, we can see, right? I mean, just look at this landing right here. Look how this worked out. We just landed there a little bit to the left, right of the runway. And then, you know, we immediately, you know, turn to the right. Probably, there we go, impacting the engine, destroying the plane. That is so weird how this always happens here. Damn. Okay, maybe it's a little bit of a better idea to also try a bigger airport. Perfect opportunity to go back to Nice Airport here. But should we maybe top up the winds a little bit? Let's go for like 37 knots. How about 40? Okay, is that a good idea? Probably not. All right, welcome aboard again in the Beluga plane, now with 40 knots crosswind, but actually, we're finally approaching now a little bit of a bigger airport right here. I mean, look, when we're viewing from this camera, we can already see how angled this plane already is to the left. I mean, to the right. I mean, you can also check it out on the map. See, we're flying in this direction, but the plane is headed to the right. You know what I mean? That's just really just goes to show how crazy this crosswind already is. I mean, you know, we start to reach a level where the passengers could soon start to see the airport better than actually we as the pilots do. I mean, there's no passengers on board here, so that's it. Yeah. Let's maybe see then how this is gonna work. Landing gears down, flaps are down. Great. This is really so weird. Let's maybe try though. We have a long runway, okay, this time around at least. At least 3 times as long as the La Mole runway, so maybe let's try making a smooth landing. See if that's gonna work as well. Really, really uncomfortable landing right here. I'm not a fan. Okay, let's maybe try. Help! Help! Ah, that was actually smooth landing. That was a smooth map. We're hitting some signs right here. Oh, wow. See, it's really hard to, you know, we're dead now. It's really hard to actually put this plane then to a somewhat good heading. You know, that actually, you know, you gotta make sure that the plane actually touches down straight down on the runway, not like sideways, because that's bad for the landing gear, obviously. So you call this crabbing, by the way. You know, with the rudder where you know, straighten out the plane and make it work. And that hasn't worked here in this case. Yep, not at all. God damn it. Okay then, it's time for maximum level of crosswind, because all the other landings basically did not work. We broke our plane every time. How is this possible? Wow. Okay, maximum crosswind here. 200. Alright, great. We're now turning around a little bit. Oh damn. Can this plane handle the crosswind here? Come on. Can you do this? Come on, Airbus Beluga. It just really just likes to flip to the side. I mean, this 200 knots of crosswind is just so extremely much. Like, if we ever had winds like this in real life, then nothing really would exist anymore, right? So this is incredibly fast. Let me see right here. I mean, down here we have the airport runway of La Mole. We're now really flying sideways. So we're facing towards the Atlantic. Oh, this is not the Atlantic Ocean. This is the Mediterranean Sea. We're facing towards that, and we're actually flying towards the east. That's great. Can we do a landing right here? Looking like a very solid one. Let's maybe try to do this. Okay, landing literally sideways, and the landing was not even too bad, right? Okay, this would be nice. Now let's try stopping. There we go, basically a drift now. This is what this channel has become. And let's stop. Alright, everybody, we have stopped our Airbus Beluga plane. This has been a very interesting one. See, but crosswind really isn't, no. Beluga, no. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in another video. As always, good night. Members here on YouTube like Block, Mubarak, Junk in the Trunk, Rafal, Oman the Human, DJ Straw, Deload, Tyler Park, Ian from Osk, Gurkham, Stefan Smeethofer, Moritz Wellhausen, Tuppy Cook, Great Karamba John, No to You, Laird Islama, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, Philip Terrier, Science, Maz Kaleg, Rodolfo, New York, Ollie H, Blue Aviation, Cheese Doritos, Shadow.